put yourself in the locker room in Jacksonville. What do you think the players are thinking there right now?
Oh,
Chris?
get me out of here. I mean, like, you got to be kidding me. If the things, again, because, unnamed sources and that sort of thing, but when there's enough smoke, there's fire. When there's a football emergency, I think sometimes these unnamed sources can be useful. I've been on a lot of bad teams. I've been on teams multiple times worse than this Jacksonville team. They have a couple good players on the team. They've been competitive. They beat Buffalo. They've played people tough at times. But I think they're a poorly coached football team on the surface, and the culture is terrible right now, and it starts with one guy. The thing that I heard he was running those assistant coaches through the ringer is ridiculous, because the irony is it's like giving Mike Vrabel the dead fish handshake. I am Team Vrabel all the way, and I know that they worked together in college, right? Like, it's almost like Urban forgets that he's not that guy in the pros. Like, you're not that dude here. Like Mike Vrabel's that dude here. Like, you got to start showing some respect for the game and respect for the guys that are busting their asses and putting their livelihoods on the line and their health on the line for a guy that's, just cultivated an incredibly toxic environment. It sounds like it's almost like he's throwing the game, and I don't mean the games. I mean, he's throwing the game when it comes to his employment with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, as a player, I've been on worse teams, but I've never had a guy running the show that did anything like this, and that makes it really a tough pill to swallow being on a team like that.
Wow. So, I mean, because my reaction to it is that we were all wondering, how's Urban going to handle the losing? Because he lost only 9 times at Ohio State. 9. That's it.
You wondered that?
Well, no. I mean, yeah. I wondered how will he, because if you're taking a job in the NFL, choosing first overall, no matter how generationally talented, Lawrence is, Trevor Lawrence is so terrific, but everyone watches football in that regard, so knows that there is going to be more losing potentially in the first year than you had in an entire tenure at Ohio State, so kind of have to slow your roll when it comes to that, but instead it appears he employs the only thing that he knows when he loses once every 2 years like he did at the other college level, and when you do that over and over and over again, it doesn't work in the NFL, so... And the thing that kind of hit me too, Chris, is that he was like, he's not used to people talking. I mean, welcome to the NFL. I mean, that's...
Well, that's the thing. It's like, really ask yourself, do you think Urban Meyer ran these equations in his head? He's a guy who's used to winning. He expects that he's going to win. He expects that he's going to be successful, to a fault and over that line by a wide margin. So, I don't know, man. For me, it's disappointing, because I do think there should be a standard of like workplace culture for NFL players. We put a lot on the line, and it's a tough hand to be dealt. Like, the average career is 3-4 years. If you're a great player, you play 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years. I mean, like, every year adds up, and your marketability to other teams as far as being, individually, successful in free agency or whatever, like, that tape doesn't go away. And if you're playing in a circumstance like that, schematically or culturally, it's a terrible waste of time. And I just feel bad for those guys. But I don't think he thought through the possibility of him like losing. I don't think that's really an equation that goes on in that guy's head.
And have you ever been on a field where a player comes up to you and says, "Get me out of here"? You have no idea what just happened on the sideline of my team?
Oh, for sure. But a lot of times it's like a dysfunctional relationship with a position coach, or like there's a dysfunctional situation with the GM or something like that. The head coach to be so widely kind of like, what the heck is he doing? I mean, from the James Robinson thing to the disagreement he's had with the receiver room to the whole debacle coming home early in the season. It's ugly, man, and it's not baseball. It's not basketball. It's not like, man, this is going to suck to run around for 82 games, or, like, I got to travel with this guy for the year. Like, we're putting our livelihoods on the line and our health on the line, and I think there needs to be like a standard for how the workplace is operating in the NFL.
What do you mean by that? Standard?
What do I mean? This is. I mean, I can't cuss on your show, but it's BS. Some of the things that are happening down there are true. It's a huge waste of time. It's you can't get that time back. Every snap in the NFL is more important than in other sports. I mean, the average careers are shorter, and you waste a year in the NFL, that's career altering, and guys are wasting time down there.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.